I love how I get a notification on my computer that I went live because I'm subscribed to me on my other channel. Got my cotton candy this morning. I got to meet Nicole, Niquina, and she brought me one of these the other day. That was really sweet. You know, I love these. I love them. It's kind of like a Halloween treat almost, right? All right, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to show up, and then I'll get started on our chat. I did want to let you guys know, since there's a few of you here now, that I'm going to have to cut the chat. The chat. Oh man, I'm on one today. I'm going to have to be short on time today. I'm taking my kids to it's Corn Bellies if you're local, but it's kind of like hay maze and things, corn maze or something like that, and a bunch of stuff this afternoon. So I can only talk for 40 minutes. I have to be really strict. So if you guys feel like I cut you off at the end, I'm really, really sorry. Probably you guys won't be here anymore at that point anyway, and it'll be a whole group of different people, but I'm letting you know in advance we're only going 40 minutes today. Here's crossing my fingers that I can actually accomplish that. So go ahead and say hi. I'm going to see who's here. Let's see. 88 Snuggles. Hello. I love you guys that come every single week. It's just awesome. Nancy Meza Spooksia. That's a cool name. I like it. Wisenant? Am I saying that right? Wisenant? Gail Penny, hello from the Caribbean. I don't know how to say things. Angie Cummings, Susan Brown, Carol S., Jessica Keenan. Hi, Jessica. Ooh, hola. Or is it oh, or just ooh? I don't know. Christine McMillan, Laura Trent, Tara Stevens, thank you for watching Hide and Seek. I appreciate it so much. The second time I got it right, so was that Wizenant? I hope I don't even remember how I said it the first time. Donna Hatch, hi Wendy W, Lily World, I don't argue back and forth, hi. So Wizenant, okay, I'm gonna try really hard to get that right every time. I try really hard to remember if people correct me. Because, you know, sometimes saying names on YouTube is a little stressful. Because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by saying it wrong. All right. Well, I guess I saw hello to most everyone who said hello. So let's just get right into it. So today on Facebook, on our Facebook group, so if you're not already on our Facebook group, I highly recommend it. One of our long-term members has made it to her goal weight. She weighed in this morning at 149, and that was pretty epic. Like, we've had a few, like I have a couple of my admins who are pretty much goal oriented. Like they're not, I'm not sure if they want to stay where they are, but they're pretty comfortable where they are. My sister Angela and also Michelle, both of those are our moderators who have basically gotten to where they're comfortable and are basically figuring out maintenance. So this is the first time I've had anyone that basically kind of started with me and like made it. I mean, she didn't start with me, obviously. She's come a long way, but she's made it to her goal. Okay. So she's like, now what? And I thought, you know, it's been a little while since I've done a video on what to do when you do reach your goal. And I've never met my goal, so I don't have any personal experience to speak from, but I can tell you the things that I know so that you can kind of be prepared and have an idea in your mind of what you might want to do when you get to that point. And so I wanted to share that here for her benefit and for everyone else, because I know that that can be a tricky subject. I know a lot of diets out there, like you go on your diet, you'll get to your goal, and then you go back off of your diet until you need a diet again, right? Am I right? That's just kind of the cycle that it goes. So you lose the weight and then you put it back on, and then you lose it again and then you put it back on. Sometimes I think people really like that cycle and that they actually do it on purpose because they really like the losing weight part, because it can be kind of addicting in and of itself. It can take the place of your food addiction. Weight loss addiction can take a place of it. So getting the compliments, having people notice, watching the scale go down, all of those things can be truly an addiction replacement. But the goal here is for us to reach our goal weight and stay there for the rest of our lives, right? I mean, isn't that what everybody really should want? We shouldn't, our bodies don't need this yo-yo up and down kind of thing. It's not good for our bodies. It's not good for our souls. It's just not good for us all around. So I do not recommend doing that. And the beauty of keto is that it's literally the only diet that I have tried or that I've even seen that is truly 100% maintainable for life. There is literally no reason why you ever need to go back to eating the standard American diet. So if that disappoints you because you were hoping that you could eat a ton of carbs again once you hit your goal, you know, I hate to break it to you, but that's probably not your best choice. Once you start eating carbs again, your addiction's going to come back and you're going to have problems like I did maybe with binge eating. I mean, I did this before, you guys. I do speak from experience. I lost a lot of weight on a keto-like diet. I got pregnant and I thought, well, because I'm pregnant, I'm going to add fruit back in my diet. And I started doing green smoothies. I mean, people use green smoothies to lose weight, right? People had suggested it to me many times. So I started doing the green smoothies and I stayed sugar-free. And then they made me take that sugar drink to get the diabetes test really early in my pregnancy because I was still what they considered obese. Well, I was obese according to BMI. And so they made me do it really early and it just kind of triggered things in me. And then over time with that pregnancy and then after that pregnancy when I was nursing and then with the next one, I just could never get back to the place where I could be sugar-free, let alone carb-free. It was really, really difficult. And you know where I ended up. If you've been here even for a few minutes, even if you've watched my very latest weigh-in video, you know where I ended up at 374 pounds of misery. So I don't recommend going back off keto once you're comfortable on it. It's just easier to stay on it for the rest of your life than it is to yo-yo back and forth. Yo-yoing is not good for your body and it's not good for you. So I don't recommend it. Now, I don't want to scare you and make you think you never get a piece of cake again. You can always plan diet breaks, keto breaks. As long as you know that you might be miserable and you might end up with problems, and you have a plan about what you're going to do. So today I'm going to have one piece of cake at my birthday party and that's all I'm having. I am not binging. I am not going carb crazy. Not doing that. And then tomorrow I'm going immediately right back into strict keto so that I can flush it out of my system and get right back on track. So what do you do when you hit your goal weight? The day that you step on the scale and it says the magical number 149 or whatever your number is, then what? What do you do? So the first thing that you do is look at your caloric intake. So you have been eating at a deficit. If you're using the macros from my group, you've been probably eating at a good 500 calorie deficit for quite a while. That is actually a very big deficit. It takes 3,500 calories deficit to burn a pound of body fat. At least that's the general accepted number. So if you're eating 500 calorie deficit, it's going to take you 7 days a week to lose a pound. Am my math right? I don't know if my math is right on that. So if you want to stop losing, okay, that can't be right because I think it was only 100 to lose a pound in a week. Maybe my math is wrong on that. I'm not exactly sure, but I think if you have a 100 calorie deficit, you can lose a pound in a week. So if you have 5, you should technically lose 5 pounds in a week. I don't know, something like that. Regardless, if you go into your tracker and you have your body mass put in there, it should tell you how many calories your body will burn just sitting here, doing nothing. So that is your basal metabolic rate. That is the rate of calories you need to consume to avoid losing weight. So once you get to maintenance, do you all of a sudden stop eating the protein? Do you all of a sudden start adding in carbs? No, those things should not change. Your protein level, if you're using my macros, the ones that that Brandy made based on Dr. Finney's research, those should stay the same for your whole life. Your protein macro should stay the same. Your carb macro, it's flexible. Dr. Finney says that you can stay in ketosis, some people up to 50 carbs. The only way you can determine if you can eat more carbs is if you're using blood meter testing over time, and you have to do it for a long period of time, and watch your carb level, raise it up a little bit, for a week or so and watch it, test it. And if you drop out of ketosis entirely, you'll know you've hit your top. I may do that when I get there, or I may just do it the easy way and stay under 20. I call it the easy way because under 20 guarantees ketosis. You don't have to test. You don't have to chase ketones. You don't have to worry about it because if you're under 20, you're in ketosis. Every person is going to be in ketosis under 20. You just cannot, there's no way to get enough glycogen from 20 carbs a day to run any human body. And that's why 20 is the magic number. So if you want to find your magic carb number, you can, but you do need to test your ketones while you're doing that until you figure out your magic number of where you can personally go and still can't stay in ketosis. To me, that it's kind of a slippery slope. It's probably easier just to stay at 20. Your fat macro is the one you're going to mess with. So if you've come here from a higher fat keto version, you're used to putting butter in your coffee and doing crazy things to get your fats in. In maintenance, you're not necessarily going to be completely doing that, but you're going to be doing a lot more fatty things. So you're going to move to more fatty meats. You're not going to want chicken breasts as much as you're going to want more chicken wings. You're going to want to skip the sirloin steak and go for more of the ribeye steak or the chuck. There's just a few things you can change in your actual food intake. You don't necessarily need to start eating cubes of butter in order to reach your fat macro. But you're going to want to raise your fat macro up until your calories meet that BMR. And then you're going to want to stay there for probably a period of a month and then weigh yourself at the same time in your cycle 4 weeks apart, especially if you're a woman. So because your cycle can affect, water weight. Hello, I'm the queen of it. You want to make sure that you're weighing 4 weeks apart. So you stay at that maintenance level that you think is maintenance and check in about 4 weeks apart just to make sure you're maintaining and that you're not gaining and that you're not still losing if that's not your goal. If you're still losing at that point, obviously you're going to want to raise your fat even more. If you're still gaining at that point, you're going to want to probably consume less fat. Honestly, to me, when I go into maintenance, probably what I'm just going to do is keep my protein and carbs the same and eat fat to satiety. I hope that by that point, I won't be a binge eater. At least I won't be able to consume massive amounts of fat to the point where I gain a ton of weight. I did practice it in July and August, and I still lost weight. So obviously me eating that extra meal and eating fat to satiety was not quite enough for me to be in maintenance at this weight. But it might be when I get to my goal because I will be burning less calories just sitting here. And your metabolism changes over time. It changes as you age. It changes as if you become an exercise person. The more you exercise, the more your body efficiently uses calories and you don't need as many. Your body just doesn't need as many calories. So the goal here isn't to see how much can I eat and not get fat. The goal here is to see how little can I eat and maintain my mass where I want it to be. Because the science has proven that eating at a caloric low is more healthy for your body over time anyway. So you really want to find the lowest amount of calories that you can eat and not lose. Does that make sense? So I hope that is clear. That clears up a little bit of confusion. If you're doing like a maintenance day, it's the same concept. So when I talk about breaking a stall by having a maintenance day, you should have a maintenance day regularly anyway. I mean, even if you're not stalling, at least once a month, you should have a day where you're consuming more fat than normal because your body does just kind of get comfortable. And it's just good to shake things up a little bit for your metabolism to keep it, not really expecting what you're giving it. So the concept would be the same. You would figure out how many calories you needed to consume, and a calorie. So there are 9 calories in a gram of fat, and that's how you'd figure it out. You'd do the math. So say you're at a 500 calorie deficit or a 540 calorie deficit. Let's make it easy. I think if I can do my math, I hate doing math like this, you guys. I'm a homeschooler, but I really do know math. So 90 to 54 is 6. Yes, am I wrong? Oh my gosh. So you'd want to eat 60 grams more of fat a day. Is that right? I think so because that's kind of where I'm at. And I eat 120 fat if I'm trying to do a maintenance day. And I'm at about 60 most days, 60 to 78. Anyway, that's kind of how you do it. You can use a calculator. You don't have to do mental math like me and fail. I get really nervous when I do mental math. Can you tell? Anxiety. All right. So basically, maintenance means to eat the same amount of calories that you're burning while you're sitting still. Okay. What your body mass will burn. And you want to not mess with your protein or your carb macro. You want to adjust your fat. Your fat is a lever. It's down when you're in weight loss mode, and it's back up when you are in maintenance. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to post them. And I'm just going to see if anybody else has given questions. We have about 25 more minutes that we can chat. And so I'm going to see if anyone has asked me anything. So let's see. Oh, I see there's a few more people here. Hello. Okay. Oh, Nicole, you are here. Hi. So Nicole, I actually got to meet Nicole. I'm trying to convince her she needs to start a YouTube channel. We did a little clip together and she was actually really comfortable in front of the camera. I know she felt really awkward, but she didn't look awkward. And I think she did really well. And she and her husband are truckers and they basically meal prep and eat out of their cooler in their truck. And I personally find that fascinating. And I think I'm not the only one who would. I think there's a lot of people who would benefit from Nicole starting a channel. So I think she's thinking about it. You guys, you guys get on Niquina and tell her she needs to start a channel. But she says she's determined that she's eating at maintenance right now. And so she needs to get back to basics. Basically, yeah, trying new ketofied foods is going to do it. If you're eating a lot of that stuff, bars, wraps, cupcakes, desserts, things like that that are so yummy, yummy. They're great. It's wonderful that as ketoers, we have those options because that keeps it so that we can really keep this going for the rest of our lives and not feel deprived. But if you're in weight loss mode, you should avoid those things as much as possible because they do slow down your weight loss. So yeah, if you go back and just go back to the macros, try and stick to them, it really, really does work. Believe it or not, I was kind of shocked. I really didn't expect it to work so well this month. I thought that I'd been eating at a pretty good deficit anyway, like on my own. I mean, I knew that I was eating more than I should, but I didn't think I was eating that much more. But I was really surprised at how quickly I started shrinking again when I went back to those regular plain old macros that I've done from day one. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, if you don't have your macros, go to the Facebook group. It's just Keto Chaos Facebook group. Make sure it's the group, not the page. If you like the page, that's just about me. If you go to the group and ask to join, you'll have to answer questions so you'll know you made it there. I have a chart right in the main part of the group in the pinned post that will tell you your macros. So if you don't have those yet, go get them. And that's the best thing you can do. So let's see. Michelle McKee says she needs a personal chef. I have a personal chef, so I hear you. I feel you on that. When I first started keto, I was doing 3 meals a day because they recommend that you do no more than 3 meals a day. And so I wanted to have as many as possible because I thought I would starve, And I found that I hated it because I had to make my own breakfast and lunch. So in the morning I was making bacon and eggs, and at lunch I was making like a steak and veggies, and I literally felt like I was going to die doing that. I hated it. And so then I went down and I cut my meal into 2 so that I only had to cook once. So I only have to make bacon and eggs and yogurt and all that once a day. And I've gotten to where it doesn't bother me anymore, but I really hate cooking, like massively, which is why you don't see me do any kind of food prepping or anything like that. It's just because I literally massively hate cooking. It makes me angry. I feel the same way about cleaning, and I'm trying to get over it, but it gives me anxiety. I just really don't like it. And so my husband has been making dinner probably for the last 11 years. I did cook for a long time. I mean, we've been married 24 years. I did a lot of the cooking for a really long time. And then I went through a really difficult time with depression, and Dave kind of took that job over. And it has just, I've never let him go back because I really need it. I really need to be able to not have to feel the stress of cooking because it is stressful for me. It is not pleasant in any way. So I feel you on the personal chef thing, but I do have to tell you, it is possible to do it very basically. You do not need to do crazy recipes. So my Women's World article, I'm really hoping that's what they're stressing, because that's what I was trying to get across when I did my interview, was that you don't need to do all these crazy keto-fied things. You don't need to do crazy recipes. You just need to do very basic stuff. I eat the same thing every flipping morning, pretty much every day. You guys know what I eat. You could probably rattle it off right to me right now because I eat the same amount of everything that I eat almost every single day because it makes it easier for me. I know it's in my fridge. I don't have to think about it. I grab it all out. I have the order that I do it in. It is just easier. It's satisfying. I know I'm going to like it. I know it's going to tide me over as long as I need it to. And it really works. When you find a good meal that meets your macros, that makes you happy and is easy to cook, have it every day if it doesn't bother you. I haven't got tired of it yet. I've been eating it for almost 2 years. Haven't got tired of bacon, eggs, cheese, and yogurt yet. I love it. It's still my favorite. And then for dinner, we just rotate through some very simple things. Chicken, cheese, and sauce and veggie. Simple. I use ragu. I don't make my own sauce. It's just too much work. Steak, cheese, and veggie. You know, it's easy. Easy. We pre-cut them. They're in the freezer. You thaw them out, throw them in a pan, cook them 3 minutes on each side, boom, done. It's really, really easy. You don't have to overthink it. There's no reason to do crazy recipes unless you're bored. If you get bored, then by all means, use some recipes, get yourself excited about it again. Food does not have to be boring, but it is easier when it's boring. It's much easier to do it. Let's see. Sarah says when she reached her goal, okay, so this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. Hi, Sarah. She says when she reached her goal, she got to enjoy more fats. So she still never keto-fies. She still tracks everything. She still weighs and measures. She never went lazy keto. That's one thing I've loved about her channel. She's very strict still, even in maintenance. And she's been in maintenance for a very long time and she has maintained it. So she is the queen of knowing maintenance. If you guys have questions about that, she is the queen of it. But yes, the key is to just raise your fats level up, put more fats into the foods that you're eating. Try not to do keto-fied stuff if you have a hard time with cravings and you have a keto dessert and you all of a sudden have cravings. Yeah, don't do that. That's probably not the best choice. Also, saving those things for special occasions is the best choice always. If you're eating keto dessert every single day, you're going to need keto dessert every single day. And then on your birthday, what are you going to eat? On Thanksgiving, what are you going to eat? That's going to be more special. You're going to feel like you need to eat carbs in order for it to be special. Whereas if you're eating just regular foods every day and you come to your birthday and you have a keto cupcake, you are going to think that's the best thing ever. I will tell you from experience, eating keto cupcake every day, you get tired of them just like every other food. They're not that awesome. I mean, they're awesome if you have them occasionally, but if you're having them every day, they kind of lose their appeal. Same thing for that kind of stuff. Let's see. Jessica Keenan says she was planning on relaxing the carbs when she gets close to her goal, like 30 to 50 carbs versus staying under religiously. Is that wrong thinking? No, not necessarily wrong. I wouldn't say wrong because Dr. Finney says that there is a different carb set point for everyone. And if that makes you feel better and it makes you be able to handle keeping it restrictive right now, then you have to do what your mind can handle. I know that when I started keto, the thought of being on keto for the rest of my life made me go, no, I don't want to do this. But a few months in, I went, wait a minute, this is awesome. I could do this forever. And it was actually a relief. It was a huge relief because I knew that meant I would never gain the weight back. And I had just come from a place where I had gained all the weight back plus 40. And let me tell you, that's the worst feeling in the world. It was horrible. I was afraid to go out in public. And you know me, I'm a social butterfly. I love people. If I don't have people, my depression gets insane. So I was embarrassed to go out. And so I didn't want to go out. And the more I didn't go out, the more depressed I got. It was this horrible, vicious cycle. So I am just relieved that I found something that I know I can do forever and ever. Watching Sarah, what she does on her channel, makes me know that I can. And that it's doable and that it's not misery and that you can feel happy and eat keto and it's satisfying. And that's the thing that is the most relief. So if you feel like you want to keep that in your head and then just reevaluate when you get there, awesome. And like I said, I may get a ketone meter and finally test my ketones. I have never tested my ketones, not once. Never bought a pee stick, never checked my blood ketones. I have all the symptoms of being in ketosis, so what's the point? I'm eating under 20 grams of carbs a day, so what's the point? But when I decide I want to try and find my carb set point, the point where I can eat and I know I can stay in ketosis, I might want to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't gotten there, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. It seems like it might be more stressful for me to spend more carbs. If I have more carbs to spend, what would I eat though? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get into a slippery slope territory. And I worry that if I give myself 40, 50 carbs, then I'm going to want to say, well, I could have a Hershey's Kiss, or I could have some gummy bears, and it's downhill from there. There's 45 carbs in a package of fruit snacks, and that's what sent me down the spiral last time, thinking I could eat one package of fruit snacks. Well, coming from a food addict, binge eater, sugar addict, let's just say no, I could not. I could never stop at one package. So that's the problem, is that if you raise your carbs up, you make wiggle room for things that may or may not be triggers. And so you have to be really careful. I already eat as much veggies as I can stand to eat. So I can't imagine me adding 20 more carbs in with veggies. Unless maybe I did an occasional potato or something, maybe. I don't know. I don't foresee that being easy. So you can choose to do it, and you can still be in ketosis if you're careful, but just be careful. Yeah. And 20 is not easy, you know. It's not easy until you're used to it, but 20, really, it's awesome. Karen made her goal weight. That's the point of this video. Hi, Karen. I'm glad you're here. She's like, and she says there's no way she's eating a carb beyond her 20 for the rest of her life. She's just not going there. And that's kind of how I'm mostly feeling about myself. I just don't trust myself. That's the honest truth. I don't trust my carb addict in there. I don't trust her. I know that Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom, feels the same way about hers. It's just not a good place to go. Yeah. All right. Oh, and thank you, Sarah. She says I'm looking great. She likes my sweater. I like this sweater. This is one of the ones that I was supposed to use for the shoot, and they didn't end up using it. I love this neck on it. It's cute. Plus, I'm going out in the cold today, and you guys know how much I hate the cold. I keep looking out the window, and I see some sun, and I'm like, okay, maybe it won't be so bad over there. And I only have to stay for 3 hours. Only 3 hours. The kids are disappointed it's only 3 hours, but it's like a homeschool field trip, so you can't do any of the fun stuff, only the boring educational stuff. They're totally going to hate it, but I'm going to make them do it anyway. They have chickens. They have some kind of singing chickens show. I don't think it's real chickens, but I can't wait for that. Hi, KK. How you doing? Good to see you, Caitlin. All right. Oh, you're driving through Idaho. Nicole, that's why we need to make you a channel. All right, let's see. So PJB Burke says that she's actually tested with Keto Mojo meter and can be up to 50 carbs and still be in ketosis. So there you go. You don't know what your keto set point is. And really, honestly, it's not necessarily about being in ketosis. You got to remember you got to your weight, your high weight, because of choices. And that's the thing, you want to make sure your choices are good ones. So when you have that 50 carbs, what are you going to do with it? You need to have a plan. You can't just go start eating candy. You can't. Maybe some more veggies, maybe some more fruit, but be careful. Super careful. All right. I am so happy for you, Karen. I just can't even imagine getting there. Well, and I don't know, like it's kind of scary to me. It's kind of scary. So you're my brave pioneer. You're going to have to show us. You're going to have to be our new moderator, and you can be the maintenance moderator. I do need some more moderators. So if any of you guys are on my Facebook group and feel like you have a really good grasp of the higher protein, moderate fat concept that I am teaching, I am going to need some more moderators. I have a great team, but they're kind of busy. And in January, who knows what this article is going to do to our little community. We are going to have a lot of new people, and we're going to need a lot of help. And so if you guys feel like you have a good grasp on this concept that I am teaching, and you'd like to help teach it too and be a part of our team, please PM me on Facebook, and I will see about getting you moderator status, because we are going to need a great, great team to help these new people that are going to be coming. But with massive amounts of new people, there comes a massive amount of misinformation that's going to come into our group. So we are going to have to be really careful to help people in a nice way and still navigate the misinformation that's going to be out on the group. We've been blessed with our small little community that we haven't had as much of that. We've had no drama at all. And I'll tell you what, with massive amounts of people comes the drama. And that makes me a little nervous because I'm not a drama queen. I mean, I am in real life, but on the internet, I don't really like that. So, yeah, let's avoid that if we can. But yeah, message me. All right. Lily World, I don't argue back and forth, says, what do you think of almond butter? It's good source of fat. I don't eat pork. What other sources of fat can I use to meet my macros? Avocado, peanut butter. Okay. How do I feel about nuts? I feel like nuts in general are best to avoid even on keto. So nut butters would fall into that, and nut flours. They are occasionally fine. I know that Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom, she loves herself some sunflower nut butter occasionally. But the thing about nuts and seeds is that they can be inflammatory. They can cause water weight issues, and they can be something that can be easily overeaten. So if you're going to use it, you're definitely going to want to weigh it out, put it in your macros, and make sure you're using it the right way. It's best to get it from food as much as you can. So if you're going into maintenance and you need that higher fat, you're going to want to just eat higher fat sources of meat. So like I said before, you're going to want dark meats instead of light meats. You're going to want the legs and the wings instead of the breast. While you're in fat loss mode, you're going to want the breast. And while you're in maintenance, you're going to want the darker meat. You're going to want the fattier cuts of beef like chuck roast, like ribeye, which is more expensive, but and the higher fat ground beef, that kind of thing. Pork, same thing. You're going to want to go for butts and shoulders instead of loins. So bacon, you're going to want to avoid the 50-50. Like I do the 50-50 bacon because I want to keep my fats low. But when I go into maintenance, maybe I will want the higher fat bacon. I want the sausages, things like that. I have sausages on occasion, but I try to adjust my macros at night to allow for that extra fat in the morning. So basically, you're just going to want to do that. Obviously, avocado is a good one. Olive oil is a great one to add to your food. Any dairy products that you can handle eating are great. That's how I get most of my fats in. Heavy whipping cream, you can add it to your Creo brew or your coffee. I don't really do bulletproof, or I don't add tons of butter and things to your coffee. You can, I guess, if you're in maintenance. I don't recommend it for fat loss. It's just empty calories. I like to add a little heavy whipping cream occasionally to my Creo brew, which is roasted cocoa beans, CRIOBRU, if you're looking for those. I want it to taste a little bit like hot chocolate. Occasionally it'll be a little thicker, and so I will add it to that. Cheeses, get the higher fat cheeses like cheddar instead of the lower fat cheeses like part skim mozzarella. What else? I've learned a lot. Dairy products are the easy one because that's where I get most of my fats. Making sauces and things like that. All that's going to be where you're going to want to go. You want to avoid adding things to your foods as much as you can, and you want to get it from your actual food as much as you can. But definitely butter up your vegetables, things like that, and make sure you track it and make sure you're not going massively over. So if in 4 weeks you've gained 5 pounds, you should probably rethink the massive amounts of fat you're eating and bring it in a little. It is really difficult if you're eating the higher protein, though, to eat massive amounts of fat because you're already full from the protein. So it's really difficult to overeat. In fact, I think maintenance with the higher protein is probably harder because it's harder to get that much food in you. So I hope that answers your question on the good fats. I definitely don't recommend nuts, but I do eat them sometimes. It's an occasion thing, just like a keto-fied treat. But, I love them. I love peanuts. I could eat bags and bags and bags. I could eat bags and bags of almonds, and that's the reason why I don't, because they're easily overeaten. Hey, Keto Kelly, good to see you. Hi, Penny. You're so cute. All right, Karen. And I was even going to go early today, so you would really be late, Karen, because I would be done by now. My plan was to go a half an hour early so I could still talk to you guys for an hour and not be panicking. So in 5 minutes, if I don't hear my kids getting in the car, I'm going to have to go and yell at them. So I'm giving you guys the 5-minute warning. I can go 10 more minutes if I hear them get in the car. Oh my gosh. It's just crazy, like, putting everything in. Yes, Keto Kelly has great, easy keto cooking. I am so proud of you girls who can do the recipes on here. Um, if we ever get rich on YouTube, Dave's gonna quit his job and do a keto recipe channel. He has so many great ideas. He's always like, let's do this," and it's always cooking stuff. And I'm always like, okay, maybe. But I'm thinking in my head, how about you do that? And if you edit it and you put it up, I'll put it up for you, but I'm not doing it. Even editing cooking videos makes me stressed out. I just can't even do it. I just want to do fun stuff all the time. Cooking is not fun to me, at least to me. Oh my gosh. Carol S says she's going to be that house on Halloween with a bowl of candy out on the porch for self-serve because my willpower with candy is low. Girl, let me tell you what we do on Halloween. This is the funnest thing and it's the best thing. I put a cooler out on my front porch with ice in it, and I put sodas out there. So I get a lot of diet sodas because a lot of the parents like diet sodas. So I get my Coke Zero, Diet Dr. Pepper, whatever diet sodas I want, and then a bunch for the kids, the ones that don't really tempt me, like Shasta. And they're cheap. And I put it all out in the cooler on the front, and we put like something kind of cute or scary next to it. And then when the trick-or-treaters come, we walk out on the porch and open it and let them choose a drink. That way, after Halloween, I am not left with oodles of candy other than my kids' candy, which they know better than to try and tempt me with that. I would kick their buns. I would kick their buns all up the stairs. I'm telling you what. They know better. They don't even offer me candy anymore because I'm the same way with candy, and especially gummy candies. And I did buy me some Smart Sweets to eat on Halloween. The gummy bears. I know that you guys are going to tell me that's a slippery slope. I know you are, but I'm having me some gummy bears on Halloween this year. That's the end of that. Anyway, what I'm saying is if you get something that isn't candy, you won't be left with a giant bowl of candy, and you won't be worried about being tempted by it all night. Okay, 88 Snuggle says, what's the difference between net and total carbs? Okay, so for net carbs, you got a lot more wiggle room because you can subtract the fiber from your foods to allow more carbs. So 20 net carbs generally ends up being more like 30 something total carbs. So really you're eating more carbs than someone who's doing 20 total. Their net carbs are going to be more close to 10 because veggies have fiber in it. And so the problem with doing the net carbs is that you can eat those ketofied treats where they've added in lots of fiber, like the Smart Sweets. So if you look at the bag of Smart Sweets, the total carbs on that one bag, one tiny bag, is 33. But there's like 30 grams of fiber in those because it's basically fiber and sweetener. That is literally the only ingredients in those buggers. So I don't know how they even make them taste good because it's just like chewing up fiber. It's weird. But that's where you get into the slippery slope items because a lot of those bars, wraps, things like that are using that net fiber, taking the fiber out as their way of getting a treat food into your diet. So it's best to do total carbs and not do those, especially the very first 6 months before you got a good handle on it. You want to keep it as simple and whole foods as you can for as long as you can because you want to make sure you have a really good handle on it before you go messing around with stuff that might make you have cravings. And even then, you can be like Sarah and never ever have them again because she is being realist and she realizes she is a food addict and she can't do it. And that's cool. You have to decide how bad is my addiction, and if you get cravings from it and you are finding it, you're fighting them every day, don't go there. Me, I haven't had that issue. I've been able to eat a lot of ketofied things and just been like, I could take it or leave it. We'll see about the gummy bears. We'll give you an update next week. So anyway, that is the difference. It's basically net carbs is where you subtract the fiber and the sugar alcohols from your total carb count. All right. Yeah, and PJB Burke, if you're doing your extra carbs are seeds and nuts and you're tracking them and everything, that is totally fine. But if I get a whole bag of almonds, I have to measure my almonds out and never have a big bag because I will literally eat the whole bag. Same with pumpkin seeds. Same with any seeds. Put seeds in front of me. I'm going to eat them all. I got pumpkin seeds ready to cook even because I know I'm going to eat pumpkin seeds out the wazoo. And I'm probably going to regret it. I don't know, but I'm going to eat them. Terrible. Terrible. My cheats are so terrible. It's not a cheat. I have chosen that I'm going to eat a keto cake gummy bears and some pumpkin seeds. That is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it one day, and then the next day I won't. And if I can't do it the next day, then I won't do that ever again. Hey, DF, good to see you. All right. Let's see. I've got 5 more minutes. They went out to the car, you guys. Look at my kids being good. Okay. Oh, Karen, you're going to message me. Awesome. Message me. You can add me as a friend too. And if you have, okay, I don't know how many of you are on my Facebook group. If you have added me as a friend and I haven't accepted your friend request, please don't feel bad. I try and keep my Facebook, my personal Facebook, as personal as I can. I don't really have any way to separate my keto peeps. And so I've only allowed a few keto peeps that I feel like I know really well on there, just because I want to keep it as private as I can. So please don't be offended if I don't add you. But if you message me, I will almost always respond. I try really, really hard to respond to every message. Now, who knows what's going to happen in January? I mean, it may get overwhelming. I won't be able to. But for now, I am answering every question that people ask me as much as I can. So I'm on my phone a lot, so feel free to message me, but I'll add everyone as a friend. All right. Okay, Carol, message me. All right, let's see. I'm happy to answer your questions. I try and get everybody's questions. I hate it when I miss questions. Eventually, it'll get to the point where you guys will have to super chat me to get your questions seen. I hope not. Well, I hope so for my sake, but I hope not for your sake. Penny Santelli says she's addicted to peanut butter. She uses any spare carbs on eating it. Peanut butter and wine get all my spare carbs. Yep. Well, as long as you're staying in your carb count, I'm not going to judge you. I totally get it. And if it makes it maintainable, then it makes it maintainable. And that's the honest truth right there. All right. Debbie Food Prepping says she just started August 21st for diabetes and weight loss. She's a firm believer that you don't need the fat like they say you do. Good. Yeah. I mean, well, you do need the fat, but you can get it from here. That's the misconception. Everyone thinks that what I'm doing isn't keto because I don't consume all of the fat that I need. But that's because my body is consuming it from itself. And that's what we want, right? You'll get to the point where you can't eat fat to satiety or the 75% or whatever. I mean, maybe you won't because Sarah didn't. Some people make it all the way to maintenance and don't have that issue. But a lot of people get stuck where their body gets to the point where they are basically eating maintenance calories and they can't get all the way there because the higher fat. And that's the thing. So it's perfectly okay to let your body eat its own fat until you don't have any more that you want it to eat. And then you just go ahead and eat the fat. And that's what you do. All right. Yeah, Kaylin, peanut butter and almonds, all of them can be water weight. They're just inflammatory. It's a pain in the butt. But you know what? I mean, it's just water weight. So as long as you're staying in your macros, it's just water weight. And you just have to tell yourself that. But it sucks to see it. Thanks, Karen. She says, enjoy my keto gummies. Oh, man. I'm so glad you're kicking cancer's butt, Keto Kelly. She's doing a 72-hour fasting. I couldn't do it. But if I was kicking cancer's butt, I would be doing the same thing. I'll tell you, I would try anything. Hang in there, girl. All right. Okay. 70 Farm, you need help. Okay, what do you need help with? I have 2 more minutes. You can have 2 more minutes of my time. What do you need help with? Where can I help? If you haven't gotten started at all, join the Facebook group. I have a how-to guide. It's free. If you can't join on Facebook, email me, ketochaos@gmail.com, and I will send it to you. It is 100% free. Free. It's not my information. It's Dr. Finney's information. All of the information is available for free in his books. Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living. What's the other one? New Atkins for New You. And also on his blog at virtahealth.com. That's virtahealth.com. All the information I teach is straight from what I've learned through him. So you can find all that information too. All of his studies and research is all published, all public access. So everything that I teach is free. If I ever become a nutritionist, maybe I'll charge for meal plans or something dumb. But right now, the only way I make money is from you guys clicking ads and watching my videos. So I'm grateful for every second that you spend here, watching me, enjoying what I say, communicating with me, commenting, liking. All of those things are important to a YouTuber because they make YouTube believe that you know what you're talking about, which means more people get to see your videos, which means I get to help more people. And that's the beauty of it. I love YouTube because I get to teach, which is my passion. And who knew? I didn't even know it was my passion. And it is. And look, my nails are still pink. They haven't completely died. And it's been a few days. It's awesome. I don't ever paint my nails. Okay, 70 Farm. You've been doing the high-fat keto for a few months and having little results. Okay, that's the problem is that you're probably eating a maintenance level of calories. And that's really the long and short of it right there. So the key is, in order to decrease your deficit, increase your deficit, I guess. Increase your deficit, you need to lower your fat grams. In order to do that and still be satisfied, you need to raise your protein levels because you can get more protein for your calorie buck. The easiest way to do it is join the Facebook group and get the macros, or email me and get the macros, and go by macros instead of percentages. Let the 75, 25 or whatever, or 70, what is it? 75, 25? Is that close? Let those percentages go. Don't worry about the percentages anymore and go by macros, and you will be in a caloric deficit and you will lose fat. And the reason we do the higher protein is threefold. Number one, because it helps you have enough amino acids to retain lean mass and let autophagy work. If you're doing intermittent fasting, if you don't have enough amino acids, your body's not going to be able to rebuild itself during autophagy. You need the proteins, okay? Number two, satiety. When you're lowering your fat grams in order to burn from your body, you want to be able to not be hungry, and you want a more food mass, and you will get more food mass for your calorie level if you're raising your proteins up. And now all of a sudden my brain went crazy. What's my third one? My third one. I have a third one. Dang it. Well, those are the two main ones. I had a third one, but my brain went crazy because my kids started singing, blah, 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 and I realized he's not in the car, which means I gotta go. And I'm 2 minutes over. I gotta go. I love you guys. Join the Facebook group. Get the information. If you made it this far and you are not here with me live, post me a unicorn or a horse emoji and I will respond in kind. I love you all, especially you, Nona Grace, who is like my awesome watch every video girl. And I know there's a lot of you who watch all my videos, and I'm so grateful all the time you spend here and on Hide and Seek. You guys are awesome. We are at 977. We are almost to the 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't taken the time to watch our family vlogs and subscribe if you like them, please head over there and check them out. It's HYDE and Seek. And the link should be in all the other videos I post, except for probably this one, because I won't get to it before we get to that place. But go over there, watch the videos. We'd be so grateful. We only need 800 more watch hours and 33 more subscribers to get monetized. So my kids are freaking out excited, and we have a really fun video planned for our 1,000 subscribers. And a big surprise, we're going to sell some t-shirts. It's going to be awesome. So head on over there right now if you haven't already. And we'll talk to you all again soon. Bye. If I can turn it off.